To generate more leads from your website, you only need to do two things. One is get qualified traffic to your website. And second is get that traffic to convert. And this is, you can call it convert or capture. Convert does not mean they schedule an appointment, they become a client right then and there. Convert is that they do something that allows you to take the next step to follow up with them. So this could be like a form fill or a report download. Of course, it could be an appointment. It could be that they call into your office. And I will touch on this. I know this is kind of in there at the end, but make sure you guys are using the inbound lead script for anyone who's answering the phone, including yourself, because we get people all the time. We listen to CallRail, so all of our digital done for you clients. We install some call tracking software so we can see exactly where leads come from. And all the time people call in, they'll have 3, 5, 7-minute conversations, and the MSP or the person answering on the MSP's end never asks their name, their phone number, their company name. They just answer question after question, and then the call just kind of ends. They have no way to follow up with this person. Now, luckily, they have CallRail on it, so we like flag it and tell them, hey, this person from this company at this number called. You didn't capture their information there, but make sure you use that inbound call lead form on all the calls, because you're probably missing leads if you're not. The very first thing you ask on those is for their information. So anyhow, just as a reminder, your website does not generate leads. It's a website, it's out there. Its job is to capture leads, to turn traffic into leads, but it does not generate leads. It's the reports, it's the marketing, it's what you do to drive traffic to your website, and then the offers on the website for that. So that's what we're really going to concentrate on today here. So as I said, it doesn't quote unquote produce leads. It convinces a qualified visitor. So this could be someone, like we find about 1/3 to 40% of your website traffic are really what we call qualified traffic. So they're usually in the service area that you're interested in. So maybe 50, 60, even 70% is outside of your service area. That's not a terrible thing with that, because as you have more blogs, as you have a better website, as you go up the rankings in SEO and are showing up higher, and you fill out your Google business profile and Facebook and LinkedIn, and you get on Clutch and Cloud Tango and UpCity and do all the things you're learning about in these weeks, you're going to have more and more people find you and go to your website. A lot of those people are not going to necessarily be in your area. We try to be exactly for the people who are searching for you, but that doesn't mean that because you're doing more than most other MSPs that you're not going to come up higher in some of these things than others. So they're going to check you out, realize, hey, you're in San Antonio, Texas, and they're in Atlanta, Georgia. This may or may not be a fit for you. So that's what we mean by qualified visitors, people you could actually do business with. So it convinces them to call or request more information by filling out a form. If you're not getting good qualified visitors to your website with some level of intent to buy, it will not deliver leads for you. So one of the things you want to do over time is track how many people are coming to your website, and then through things like Google Analytics, you can see how many people are what I would call qualified visitors. So we're just outside of Nashville and Franklin, but say I wanted just people within about 50 miles of Nashville, I would look in Google and see, hey, last month, if we had, let's say there was 1,000 visits there, I might see how many were within about 50 miles of Nashville and say those are the qualified visits. If we're not getting many of those, then we know we need to do some more things. And it's all things we show you guys, teach you guys to do to get more of that qualified traffic to your website. So let's talk about a couple KPIs, key performance indicators that you should know to see if your website is quote unquote working. So set a time period that you want to mention. Kind of alluded to this, but let's take that example of 30 days, just 1 month. Say you had 2,227 unique visitors with that. So that was an average of some stuff that we had looked up from our client's website. So that's why we got that number. That was a subsection of that. So that's how many unique visitors they were getting. And a unique visitor, you could probably know this, but that just means if I go to a website 10 times in a month, that's only going to count as one unique visitor. and you got 6 leads, 6 from phone calls and 6 from form fills. So that's reports or contact us or whatever. That would be a 0.3% conversion. So about 1 in 300, or 1 in 300, 333 from that. So 0.3% conversion. You'll have to note that not all leads you'll generate are going to be qualified, and it's not uncommon for 50% or more to be unqualified. And unqualified doesn't mean they're not a good lead. They're just might not be good for you. It could be people who are a company under 10 computers that you don't handle. It could be outside of the geographic range that you handle. It could be outside of an industry niche that you handle. Any of those are going to be what would be considered unqualified leads. With that, they still count in your raw leads, but they may just not fit what you consider a qualified lead with that. What this does not include, and I'm not going to harp on this too much because I know others go over it and talk to you. It does not mean an unqualified lead is not someone who calls in just asking for project work or asking for help with a laptop or something like that. You've got to qualify the company and not the opportunity. We hear stories all the time. Eric Shore was just sharing with us last week on a webinar that they had a call in where a guy's laptop broke. He got a new laptop, but he needed to transfer files from his old laptop to the new laptop. They asked all the right questions and found this guy was the CEO of a waste management company. I'm going to get the exact numbers wrong, but I want to say they had like 83 laptops there currently, and why he needed to get this fixed like in 2 days was because he was presenting to a board to get financing to go out and buy like 3 or 4 other waste management companies. Bottom line, they're now over $500,000 in revenue from this. He said most people and most members he talks to, they get a call about a broken laptop. They're telling them that's break fix, that's too small, that's not interesting to them. They'll refer that out to someone or give someone, but they didn't qualify the company, they qualified the opportunity. And so they said it all started with one broken laptop, and now not even, well, I guess it's been about 6 months. They've already generated over $500,000 in revenue from that. And I think it's over $15,000 a month in MRR. Might even be higher than that with the last numbers. So again, that's not unqualified. That is a qualified lead. People aren't going to come into you with saying, hey, I'm just looking for a new managed service provider to be under contract with for 3 years. Where do I sign type of thing? You guys know that, but that is still a mistake I see so many of our members making when we listen to those calls. So let's talk about some averages so you can kind of see where you're at with that. So average total traffic per month, this is across, we looked at statistics for, I think it's almost 900 now websites that we do, between 800 and 900. So this is a big sample size from brand new people with 2 clients to people who've been around doing this for 20 years. And the average total traffic per month was 1,185 unique visitors. And it really ranged. The vast majority fell somewhere between 500 to 2,500. You had outliers that were below 100, and you had people who had 10,000 views a month, but average about 1,200 visitors in a month. Average conversion rate from visitor to raw lead. And it says raw / unqualified. This would include unqualified. It doesn't mean they're unqualified. It's just as a raw lead, that's really anyone who fills out one of your forms or gives you a call. It ranges from 0 to 1%. So that's about 0.5% total. So it takes about 200 visitors to a well set up website to get one raw lead in with that. So again, a lot of times we'll talk with people and they'll say, my website's not working. I'm not getting any leads or as many leads as I should. And first thing we do is look at the number of visitors. Secondly, we look at the number of leads, because if you're getting 1,200 visitors, but only a third of those are good qualified visitors, that might be 400, and you're looking for a 0.5% conversion, 2 leads a month is going to be what you're going to get. So average conversion from visitor to qualified lead was about 0.2%. So over half the leads fell off as being unqualified. And that's really defined by you guys are members there. So I think the number's probably a little bit higher that would be qualified. But again, how many MSPs out there when they get a call on a Friday afternoon about a broken laptop are rushing out and making sure that this is a good lead versus handling that incorrectly and marking it unqualified and then saying you're not getting any good leads with that. So anyways, but these are the averages from them reporting. Average number of raw leads per month was 5 from that. And then the average number of qualified leads from their website per month was 2. This is getting rid of all of the spam, the junk, the bot traffic, everything along there. You could be getting lots of bots. Those don't count as even unqualified leads. Salespeople filling out forms just to try to get an appointment with you. We got rid of all that. I will say, if you're not even getting that traffic, you're probably really hard to find. If people whose whole job in bots is to find those forms and fill them out can't find your website, probably doing something wrong. Same with calls. I know a lot of you probably get a lot of spam calls or sales calls, but think about this from 2 ways. Again, if you're not getting those calls, that means people who are paid to find you can't even find you and know that you're in business. But secondly, you guys, I mean, we teach us to call and reach out. And so a sales call, like, you just handle it, move on, but don't not answer the phone just because you get a lot of sales calls, because you need to treat everyone like they're a great lead until they prove that they're not. So move them along. So let's talk about the website really only needs 5 pages. That doesn't mean you can't have more. Almost all of our members have a lot more than 5 pages, but there's 5 big pages you need. One, of course, is your homepage on there. And we're going to talk about how this should be set up. A services page, a blog, an about us, and a contact us. Those are really the big 5 pages that you need. You can get this up and running incredibly quickly with how we work with you on this and get it set up well, get it set up for conversion. As long as you do your end and modify a report and get a calendar link and get us everything we need, all of this can be set up in a matter of days for you into a high converting website. With that, Danielle, before I jump into some of the elements of a high converting website, any questions or comments or anything we need to address?
Not at this time.
Okay, perfect. I like this group.
Oh, I lied.
Okay.
How do you contend with ass wagons who use your C2A form to prospect their own services?
Yeah, just ignore them, delete them, move on. That's it. So, yeah, I'm sure you guys could figure out ways to block some of them, like individually and this and that. But no, just we get the same thing. Just move on. Let's see. It says Kara Crisp has a hand raised. I don't know if you want to call and unmute or if you'd rather they type something in the Q&A. I just got a little notification, and I don't know if Kara even knows she has her hand raised.
She said, sorry, mistake.
Oh, okay, perfect. Easy. Didn't want to not answer a question. I didn't know you could raise your hand on this, so I just had a.
All right, we got another one coming in from Dustin. I have a new company with a new website that isn't fully complete. Would it be safe assumption that I need finish the website prior to building a landing page and even start advertising in general? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm a big fan of just getting stuff going there. I will say, I mean, you guys all have the like Robinized site, so just get something up. Like, even if our site that you guys get is not going to be the main site you're going to use, get it up, because it'll be better than, obviously better than nothing. It's obviously better than most, just about everything out there, since we have a lot of top members that use our website, our Robinized website, for this. I would say get your website up and going, whatever that looks like. Have these 5 pages. I mean, if you're going to miss one of these, get rid of the blog for now if you don't have a blog with that, but get that up, because it is going to be a big hindrance to your marketing. They're going to want us, like, not having a URLs, like not having a phone number nowadays. So just get something up, but use the sites we give you and get that up, and you can still be working on your be all end all website at the same time.
Yes. And then Jillian also added in the chat, If you work with your MAP onboarding specialist, they can help you with connecting your landing pages and integrating it with your MAP CRM that you get with your MSP launch program.
Yeah, you can be all set.
All right.
Good to move on. Or...
Yeah, see, the other one I feel like you're going to cover, so we're going to hold off.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And we'll take unlimited time at the end to get through questions. So no one's going to leave here with questions. I promise you that. So moving along, let's go into the 7 most important elements of a high converting website. And a lot of you guys, like, we're talking about websites today, but this carries across to brochures, emails, landing pages. I mean, any type of marketing ad that you do on here. The vast majority of these are the 7 most important elements of almost any marketing piece. So again, we're talking about websites specifically, but think about all of your marketing pieces. And I'm going to touch on that a little, but let's dive into websites. First of all, a headline that instantly conveys what you do and who you do it for. Now, this is one I'd say on everything you do. I see webinars, like flick flyers, whatever, a million marketing pieces I get all day long. If I were to go around like trade show booths at an event, and if you read the headline and can't tell exactly what they do and who they do it for, they're missing. I always say be clear over being clever. Clever doesn't make you money, being clear does. If I want a service, I want to see that, hey, this is for CMOs of whatever, sales and marketing companies who want more leads, then I'm interested. Don't have some cute phrase that I don't really know what it means, or think that I'll figure it out, or think that I'll read your 20-page brochure on this. If I'm not instantly interested and know that it's for me, I'm probably moving on. You guys have so little time to capture people's attention. You know this because we're all the same way. There, think about every email. Let them know what this is, who it's for. The whole job of the headline is to get them to read the next line. So let's look. So we recently updated our website and said we give MSPs a proven step-by-step marketing plan so they can finally start attracting more profitable, appreciative clients who value IT. Like, you know who it's for and what we do. Now, you don't know all the details. We don't go into websites, and we give you CRM. We do sales and marketing training along with operations. We got 4 levels of coaching. We have all sorts of events, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we tell who it's for. It's for MSPs who want a proven step-by-step marketing plan. So that's what we give them so that they can get more profitable clients who value IT. So you have a very good idea who this is for. It is funny on this. We were running some Facebook ads and we used this kind of language, and we would get in comments, bad ad. I don't even know what an MSP is. And I'm like, well, it's probably not for you if you're not an MSP. You don't know who that is. So you want to get rid of the people who you're not trying to attract just as much as you want to go after the people you do want to attract on there. Now, we'll go over another example later. So anyhow, so what does yours say? Let's look at a couple things you need in there, then we'll look at some examples with that. So the top third, so this is called the upper third of your website. It's basically what shows up without scrolling. Needs to convey what are you selling, who do you sell to, where do you offer your services, so what, who, and where. And then fourth, why should I call or click? You got to give them a reason to call or click on that. So a little bonus is that what do you want me to do if I don't have an immediate need right now? So you could have people looking, especially if they just come across an ad, you get their attention. Maybe they're just kind of they're moving into the area, opening up a branch in the next couple months. They don't have a need right this minute. What should they do if they don't have the need right now? So we're going to talk about those things. So first of all, so this is Adam Pittman, Computer Abilities. IT support for construction, engineering, and architecture. So like ACE, businesses in Raleigh, North Carolina. You pretty much get this. Now imagine if you're a construction, engineering, or architecture firm in Raleigh, North Carolina, you come across Adam's website versus another one that just says making IT easy for businesses. You're like, they could be a bigger company. They could be a better company for all we know. but we don't really know exactly what that means. Okay, making IT easy for businesses, that's falling more under the clever than the clear, because Adam wants ACE companies, architecture, construction, and engineering in Raleigh, North Carolina. So if I'm one of those, I'm like, okay, well, I think he gets me. So then I read the next line. So guaranteed excellent communication, 6-minute response time. So that's nice. But then construction, engineering, and architecture firms have been our specialty for more than 20 years. Solve your large file sharing and email problems, your CAD file issues, and then prevent surprise bills from Bentley and false license issues from AutoCAD. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, he's making the list of who you're going to call, because you don't have to explain what your issues are. He gets it already. And then free 1-hour on-site IT support, and then IT support company for North Carolina businesses. Now you got to remember, this is not all Adam does, but this is the niche that he's going after hardcore. So he's built this really around the people he really wants on there. Now, this doesn't mean you have to choose to go this specific, as Adam did. We'll look at some other examples. You can also have different pages within your website. So it could be computerabilities.com/ACE. And those come here. So when you're advertising to architecture firms, that you send them here instead of your main website. So let's get another example. So this is one of our friends in Australia. Highly responsive IT support and managed IT services for small and mid-sized professional service firms in Perth. So again, if you're a professional service firm, small, mid-sized in Perth, that's perfect. He's telling them, I don't want the giant there. That's probably not who they're for. And if you say, hey, I don't want to tell people I just do small businesses because what if, you got to remember, a lot of small businesses are probably who you serve. Like, unless you go after a lot of commit, then you can say that and have some different pages for commit for small to medium-sized businesses. But also small businesses, they're so used to calling MSPs. Like, I hear these calls all of the time when I review the inbound. They'll call and they'll have been shot down by firm after firm. They'll say, hey, we've only got 12 computers. It's like, you can tell it's like their 5th call, and they're like, no one wants to work with us, or we've only got 5 computers, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, nope. We don't want to work with you with that. So tell them, I work with small and mid-sized, or I worked with, and you could define it, I work with companies with 10 or more employees, 10 to 50 employees. You can say that right in there. And this is a little hint, I was going to share it earlier, but this is a good time, is like for our digital done for you division, we will run ads where it specifically says for companies between 10 and 50 employees, or 25 and 50. We want to eliminate the people, like if you tell me you only want companies that have at least 25 employees, I'm going to call it right out in the ad and say, hey, we do 25 to 50 employees. We don't want the 10 employees or the 5 employees, because when they click on that, it costs you money if you're running these ads as pay-per-click. So we want to eliminate the wrong people so that we can better attract the right people. So the stronger you attract the right people, the stronger you're going to dissuade the wrong people. And that's totally fine. You just got to make sure that there's plenty of the right people for you. So go to a third one, and I put this one in here because it's nationwide. So you might be saying, hey, I handle all over the country. So this is Daniel Schwartz. Customized IT and cybersecurity services for hospitals, healthcare practices, and then has end businesses nationwide. They didn't want to totally eliminate the other businesses, but their majority of their niche, if I remember correctly, I'll say 60% to 70%. I could be a little off on that, but hospitals and healthcare practices nationwide with that. So that's really what they're going for. And you can see from their imagery, I know it's a little small, but their like free guide that's down there. It's like a doctor. It's kind of what it looks like in there. So they've really done a great job of marketing around that niche that they want. So a message fail on that. So this is where like who we've worked with, Atiba Network Services. They got some stuff. They put all that, this week's projects, our skills, managed services. They're not telling me anything. Who are they selling to? Where do they sell? Who do they sell? Have they proven it? Like, I get it. Like, if I'm in Nashville, I get Nashville Healthcare Council, BNA Wine Group. I see another thing. It says like Nashville on there. So I can figure it out, but it's hard to read. Why should I call? Why should I click? What action do you want me to take? Is there anything right now? If we go back to Daniel's, and really all of these, I probably didn't highlight this, all of them, clear phone number on these. Adam's phone number upper right, here phone number upper right, Daniel phone number upper right. That they've also, that kind of bonus one was this report. Get my free copy. It's a free guide for healthcare executives. 8 security protections every healthcare organization must have in place now. They don't want to book a consult. They don't want to talk with someone right away. That's fine. They can just download that free report. Let's see. Let's move on. Just break in if there's any questions. And otherwise, we'll keep any to the end.
Yeah, just keep on
okay,
going right
cool.
now.
Okay. Lead generation magnet to build your list and convert just looking visitors to leads. So you guys all have this with the reports that we give you. We come out with new reports a couple times a year. We update reports. We've got more reports than you could ever possibly use. I've never seen a client use more than 2 or 3 of them out of the like 6 or 7 that we have in there. But this again is our website. We get leads every single, I'll say every single week. It's probably every single day if I were to really check, but we probably get a day or 2 here or there where no one fills this out. But free guide, 6 ways to double your sales clients and clients without spending a dime on marketing and advertising. My guess is some of the people on here have this report, or that was the first way you came to hear about us. So it's having that. We also have them the ability, they can schedule a personal marketing strategy session right then. We've also got our phone number up there, and we want all that. But I just want to report that we can capture people. It's kind of funny. If you go to mspsalesroadshow.com, so the link that Danielle put in chat before about the roadshow, we actually have 2 lead gen opportunities there because we get thousands and thousands of people who go to that. Roadshow total, I think we can hold about 900 people between the 3 cities, maybe a little bit less. And we have members alone would fill that 3 times over. Then we got the clients, then we got the leads. Like we get thousands of people to this site. So we actually have a report for people who leave. And then there's also, you'll notice in the upper right, there's a little box to get a discount code. So if you're not already a client, you can get a discount code to come cheaper to Roadshow right now because we're in the early bird ticket phase with that. That's all lead gen on there. So we will get, I'll say dozens. It'll probably at the end of things be hundreds of leads from a site from people who do not come to Roadshow that we then follow up with, nurture, build a relationship, and hopefully in the next 3, 6, 9 months, they end up buying or coming to an event from that. So here's a couple examples. Some of these are older, some of these are newer. Here's an example from Mario. Got his free report right there. Top 10 ways hackers get around your firewall and antivirus to rob you blind. Got that in there. Very clear. Here's a big problem one. Again, Anderson, I'm not even gonna try that. But AZ Technology Services. At first I'm like, is AZ for Arizona? That's what I first thought of. Then I saw like their name and I'm like, oh, that's probably. So again, I don't know where they are. I get that they do technology services, not sure who it's for. But a couple problems, really 3. The company name is never a good headline. Don't say that because from an SEO standpoint, you'd be much better off saying IT services for Nashville dentists or even for Nashville businesses or small businesses. Because if they know who AZ Technology Services are, there's no reason to waste that SEO juice on your name. You'll just come up if they Google that. So don't use that as your headline. Also, offers like this need to be sold. Click here to reserve your complimentary security assessment. This is a hard one, guys. Like this, you can do it on a webinar. You can do it at the end of a report, at the end of a video, something like that. You could do it to your clients, or it takes explanation. Very few people are just going to say, hey, yeah, I want to reserve my complimentary security assessment. Like that even sounds a little scary. I don't know what the heck you're going to ask for in there. Then third is like, it's kind of hard to see. You get it. We put a big 3 there, but where is it? This guy, reserve assessment. It's not clear that that's a button. You usually want a button to stand out. This kind of blends in with the background. So you got to make sure it's crystal clear what someone's getting when they fill out the form. Not like, hey, sign up for weekly update. No one wants a weekly update. No one wants to just connect with us. Like this is one of those kind of clear over clever examples where they've gone for clever or something. I don't even know if that's that clever, but we provide support in record time with dedicated IT consultants and account managers. We're on it. So, and then read more. Again, it's not horrible, but I don't know who they do it for or where they do it. Again, their opt-in form, it just connect with us. What's that mean? I'm just giving you my information. I get nothing out of it. I'm not interested on there. So you want to avoid those mistakes. When you're offering free information, always use an image of the information with the form. It'll increase your conversion. Let's see, if you can use the word free, that can be powerful as well. So we don't always do that, but a lot of times it'll be in there. If there's no payment, they kind of know, but it's probably better than not. So this was Fair Oaks IT, but they have free report right at the top, so they're not messing around. They want to tell you it's free. They have a picture of the cover of the report. Obviously, it shows the report, has the headlines, 21 critical questions your IT consultant should be able to say yes to. What every business owner must know about hiring honest, competent, responsive, fairly priced computer consultant. So it shows it right in there. Like there's very little doubt as to what you're getting when you sign this. We will even do things that say like a free 36-page report delivered to you instantly via email or when you click here. Or if you're going to mail it to them, say a free 36-page report will instantly be mailed to you. And you could say like, well, it's virtually instantly mailed. It's just they don't get it for a couple days because of the mail. But especially if you want an address. Also be careful what you ask for. Name, company, and email is great. Main company phone, like you can ask for it. I wouldn't make it required because if you have their name, company, and email, you can definitely find the phone number as a whole. And most people aren't like giving you their cell unless there's a reason for that. Don't use this type of capture. This will suppress response a lot. Instead, I mean, you guys all have mapped. There's like these hidden check boxes and things that only bots can see that they instantly check, and we know that they're spam. So there's some other things we'll do it for you during this program, but don't use these. Don't use those ones where you got to pick which photos have a bike or a bridge or a bus or whatever in them. Those are annoying. You all hate them. So do your people with it. There's other hidden ones that we build in for you. If you're not using our forms for whatever reason, make sure you're not doing this. It will kill your conversion rate. When you're offering content, make sure to deliver it immediately on the next page. When you're offering a download or something like that, give it to them on the next page. Don't make them have an email and fish it out of their inbox. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. We've even been playing with delivering it via text as well and tell them, hey, give us a cell number. We will use it one time only for a text link to the report. So you can have it on your phone or even get like a recording sent to your phone. So like this is an opt-in form that promises that you can download your copy. However, when you fill this out, it just says not ready to call us just yet. Doesn't say anything. And let's look at this page again. So check, like none of you guys should have this happening. Double check your website. But this is what a lot of people used to have. You guys, if you have us build it, I should say, this shouldn't be happening at all. But they would fill out their name, email, phone, and company. They'd click on this little get my free report. They'd click there, and the page didn't even change. It was just like the embed, the frame that would change. So even like Google Analytics and stuff couldn't track this conversion because the page itself never changed. It was just the embed on it. So this was bad on a lot of levels. And all it says is, thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly. Where the heck do they get their instant download that they were just promised with that? So now I know they get an email and everything, but at the very least it should say that, but then you can't promise to download your copy right there. So make sure a download's available. Usually at the top, next best place is if you had it at the bottom, if you did want them to have to scroll. We do it in both, but we usually try and say, hey, here's your download, but you're not done yet. Check out this video if you want to get more leads, appointments, and sales for your MSP right now. here's a 3-minute video, and that will try and sell them on an appointment or get them onto a webinar or get them onto the next step right away. Third thing, use a prominent phone number. This one's not going to be very long. Use a phone number, guys. Like, this is not, don't think it needs a ton of explanation there. I'll just skip to this one because here's a good example of how to display more than one location's phone number. And actually, so one little hack I like that I've seen recently is, instead of just saying Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron/Canton, I see like IT service Columbus, IT service Cleveland, and IT service Akron. And you might stack them and do them vertically just so they fit instead of side by side. And a lot of times that will help with your little SEO juice. So anyways, just a little advanced tip. But this website's a great one. Again, so is your company's network running slow and causing problems? Take your business IT support to Cloud9. So they flipped it. I would rather it said who and where, except they've kind of done that because I'm assuming this is the Cleveland skyline. So if you're from that area, you probably know what this is. So I know the Nashville skyline, I know the Chicago skyline, 2 places I grew up. So if it had that and I'm somewhere in there, even if I'm not exactly in Nashville or exactly in Chicago, I'll be like, oh, they've got my city in here. It's probably for that. So they've done a great job by having an image. I don't love that they have, this is what's called reverse copy, where you have light copy on a dark background. It usually does not convert as well as dark copy on a light background because it's harder to read, harder to see. People love how it looks. Like, by people love how it looks, like that's the people who own the website, not prospect. If you want to love your website, that's great. What I'm more interested is in the leads loving my website. Now they do, Cloud9 does a great job. So, and they know all of this. So they've made this decision on their own. With our advice, but call the most trusted leader in IT support for Columbus, Cleveland, Akron, and Canton since 2006. So right there, then they tell you what's going on with that. Now, I will also tell you, they do a ton of advertising direct to landing pages. So this is their main site, but all of their spend on like Google and Bing and all of those, they go to landing pages that are specific to those ads. So anyhow, then they do, again, not just the phone number, but they've got to download our free ebook. They've designed it themselves. They do a great job all around. Number 4, an easy to navigate pop menu and clean responsive design. Again, this is not going to be something very big, but I'm going to show you some bad examples in a minute that are kind of fun here. So just a easy to read menu. Don't hide it. On an example earlier, they like moved the menu so it was kind of on the left-hand side and kind of down. It was just a little funky with that. People are trained on where to look with this. So make sure that's done. So before I jump in, we got a little fun. So this next part's interactive, guys. So get ready to look and then type in your answer, just the first thing that comes to mind. But Danielle, any questions that we should go over?
Yes. So Stephen is asking, his current message is IT service for DC, Maryland, and Virginia businesses. So
Okay.
wanting to know, is that message too broad? He's still defined in his target market, but he's focusing on right now nonprofit.
I mean, so the only thing I might say, like, you could do businesses. I would say small to medium businesses, just so, again, you got to remember your ideal lead. They have called people who've said no, because some of these big IT companies, they'll market all over the place and they find them, but then they call and they're only interested in companies with 100 computers or more, or 200, or they're only interested in a co-managed arrangement. They don't want to be shut down again on this. So if you're doing small and medium-sized businesses, say that right in there. Now, it's interesting because nonprofits are a little bit different group. It doesn't sound like you want to go all in on nonprofits, which is fine. You could do 2 things. One, you could have a second landing page where it's like whatever your company is / IT services nonprofits. And when you're marketing to nonprofits, you could drive them to that and just replace businesses with nonprofit organizations in the, what was it, Maryland, DC, and I forget what the other area was. Or you could say businesses and nonprofit organizations in those areas. So you can list a couple things there. The big thing is they want to know, like, I'm fine then. I'm a nonprofit or I'm a business in your area. I know I'm on the right track, at least. So I think you're fine with that.
All right. That was the only question.
Okay. Easy enough. Okay, guys. So here's where we're ready to type. I found a page, real page, and I'm going to show it. And I want you to tell me what kind of company this is. Just first thoughts on what kind of company this is. Put these in the chat. Don't put these in Q&A or else it's going to blow us up here. But just put it in chat. First thought. Okay, I like it. Okay, we got a lot of stuff going on here. So now, and this is the first thought though, like, obviously I put one up where it's not music or recording or that or guitars. This actually came up when I typed in IT services Nashville. This is an IT company. The only thing I took off this page to protect, I'll say the innocent, might be protect the guilty. I took out their logo. I hope I blocked it out everywhere on here, but it used to be in the upper left corner. Their logo didn't mean anything. It wouldn't have helped you. It was just their logo on there, but don't want to give them a hard time. For all I know, they could be members now, but I really don't think they are, because in a second, you'll see why. But yeah, it says music store. We got music store recording, whatever. Yeah, what's the deal on the guitars? Can't read the script title. What do they do? What promises? Secure your guitars. I like that. So, and saying used to be Will's company, who knows? So yeah, but I mean, you can figure it out if you really look at it. But again, you don't want to make your people guess. We are passionate about delivering on our promises. What kind of even statement is that? That's like, I say what I'll do and I'll do what I say. Like, I've seen that on them too. I'm like, well, I would hope so. So you're not a liar? Like, that's a very low hurdle that I've got to overcome. Now in the upper left, it says high-speed approach to IT services. And down below it says infrastructure, network, security, automate, and cloud. Like, that's kind of horrible. That would be like if a bad version of ChatGPT was like writing your stuff on there. But again, they're trying to be clever, catchy, avant-garde, rather than just being clear for the businesses they have. So I'm going to show you a second one here, but I'm not. You don't have to put it in. You can. You know, maybe we'll just take 10 seconds, put it in here. So here's another site. First impressions, throw it in. Okay, I'm just gonna go on. So I messed up with my blocking here. So I pretty much blocked out their logo. So guys, funny thing is this is the same exact company. This was the current one. So they changed away. They got rid of any headline whatsoever on there and just have this picture up now. So they don't even have what was like infrastructure, cloud, automate. They no longer just deliver on their promises with that. Like, guys, this is just rough on there. They could be a great company doing great work, but I can tell you they're also doing themselves a great disservice by not having a clear headline, not having that on their site, because they are competing against people who say, I work, we help IT services for small businesses in Nashville. I will know what the heck I'm doing. This, again, it does look like a WeWork, and I don't think anyone's associating WeWork with high quality service. They could give great service. Some people on here could work at a WeWork and what industrious or something like that, but it's probably not what you want to portray on there. There's more about foosball tables and guitars and things like that than there is, and why the heck are all those desks empty and all that good stuff. So here's another one that's not good for attracting business who want to outsource their IT services. So put the power in your hands wherever you are. What's that say? 10,000 mAh and 20,000 mAh power banks. I forget. I looked it up because I just wanted to figure it out, and then I immediately forgot who it was, but this is another, they actually do IT services, but they had been called Ekins PC Repair since, I think it was the 80s when we looked it up, with that. And then I think it's been owned by the son for like a decade or so. Or he bought it. I forget what the exact story was, but he bought the computer repair and just never wanted to change it, even though they want to get more IT services. Is their thing. I'm like, this looks like a PC repair of parts. Now, if you want that as your business, great. Even this might not be the thing, but don't keep PC repair in your title if you don't want PC repair. We literally had a member who that was their main thing in Google. They had PC and computer repair as their main category, and then they were upset that the main calls they get are for computer repair and not IT services, but they didn't want to change it because they got so many calls. It was like this never ending kind of circle of weirdness on that. So just look and see if it makes sense for you. You guys want a fast loading, mobile friendly website. And I would say more, the big thing, like they're all going to be fast enough nowadays. General, the big thing you want is it optimized for mobile, so that things aren't all weird. They don't run off the screen. You don't have to scroll left and right. You can fill out all the forms. Some of the pictures might come off of it on a mobile version, because you don't need a picture taking up all the space. So you just want an overall fast loading, mobile friendly site. Those are not going to be your best leads. We definitely optimize for desktop with the secondary optimization for being mobile. But make sure that it's at least mobile friendly and optimized so that it changes. Mobile responsive is the word I'm looking for on there. So moving on, a well-written about us page. So this is one of the greatest areas that don't just blow through this. Find some of the people in here and look, really tell your story. And I really like it if you can tell why you do what you do. However your journey is, however you got there, your background, why you do this, you can connect with people in here. Don't just say, hey, we've been here for 20 years, we've worked with so-and-so and so-and-so, and here's what we can help you with type of thing. People want to work with people. They want to know what makes you different. And your biggest unique selling point is you. So we've got people who were in the CIA, we got people who were in the military, we've got teachers, we got people who were in IT for the company they were, we got other people who were amateur hackers in high school, and they fell in love with computers, and they've gotten on the right side of everything. So whatever the reason is, we've got a lot of people who were in an industry but they were always kind of on the tech side. And so we've got CPAs who've opened up IT services. There's one that I never get right. I want to say it's like bolts. They manufacture industrial like bolts, and I guess that's big business here. But all of their people used to work for companies that manufactured these bolts, and now they do IT services for them. So very, very specific, but they're like the only choice if you're in this industry, because they know everything there is to know about that. So tell people why you do what you do. Tell them what you do. Explain all the problems, all the things you got tired of seeing businesses that were doing this, and this, that only had problems, that had downtime, that had X, Y, and Z, and the real things that are problems. Don't say like, we were tired of businesses that had crappy cybersecurity and they were leaving themselves at risk. That's not really why you got into that. That's what we want to sell eventually. But most people, they just want their computers to work. So talk about that. You want to make sure people aren't exposed to cybercrime, that was a reason you got into it. Just be honest. Don't be marketing. Don't do marketing speak. Do like human speak, like you're talking to a person, because here you're talking one-on-one to a person on this. So more information about what you do and who you do it for. Why do you serve the niche or the area you do? Content that explains who you are, including key team members. Again, leverage the power of your team. And then any celebrity pieces you might have, including articles, words, TV, radio appearances, anything like that. We'll show you some of those. And don't worry, if you don't have them yet, that's absolutely fine. Most people don't have them yet. So you're in good company. And over time, you'll see how to get those. Then you also want to do testimonials, either written or video, with that. So here's actually Conrad Martin, one of our Better Your Best finalists this year. So by CPAs for CPAs. So talked about how he and his brother owned a CPA firm. I forget if they still do, but then it tells how they got into IT and the technical side of everything, and now they specialize in working with CPAs in their area, and they have for however long. And well, yeah, they still have a 14-person firm, so CPAs know they get it, and that they'll understand them, so it's perfect for them. So by CPAs for CPAs. Comtech, this is Mike Farlow's company. He's got his sons working with him along with a big team. They just did a nice job and didn't scroll all the way down on this, but you'll see, I don't know, 16, 20, 24 employees, and they're all professional headshots, similar shirts, logoed shirts, all of that, just well done. Talks about their team and their mission with that. Check them out. It's comtechnc.com. They do a nice job on there with that. So last one is trust and credibility building content. This kind of bleeds into the last one that was specifically on About Us page. This is on its own pages, or what I'd say is on every single page that you have. People are like, where do I put my testimonial? I'm like, put them on every page that you've got. Put them somewhere on the page, either on the right-hand side, at the bottom, scrolling through them, whatever it is. Just about every page should have testimonials. Every marketing piece you do should have testimonials, whether it's a postcard, a landing page, any of that from it. Have those on there. This is old. It says discover with over 321 MSPs, VARs, and IT services. Now we have over 400 active ones. Like, this is a pain for us guys, because we have to go in and, like, every time a company gets like bought or merges, or if someone goes out of business, like, we try and go in and get rid of any ones that we have. But we've got over 400 currently active on our website, and we've got thousands more if we wouldn't take all the ones off that merge or just change their company name, or that person no longer works there, whatever, with that. So you cannot have too many. We talk about things like this. So this would be if you get, oh yeah, go ahead.
Before you go, an often question on testimonials with this group is they're just starting out, and that's kind of a hold up on their websites. What do you recommend if they do not have testimonials to get started with the Done For You website?
Yeah, so I mean, so by just starting out, you also mean like brand new to business in general?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing is, and a lot of people will say they're just starting out where they're not like brand new. They've got a couple clients. There's probably a reason you went into this. So even if you just have a couple, use the testimonial campaigns you get with this program and get those. Beg, borrow, and steal to get them for those first couple. The other thing you can do is, if you truly are starting out, chances are you went into this for a reason. And you've got some good likelihood of success in being in this program. If you actually follow it and do the things, you will have success with this. But you can get testimonials that are what I'll call more personal testimonials than company testimonials. So like if I've worked with Danielle, but say she was going out and she was going to start her own consulting firm, her own IT consulting firm, she could get a testimonial from me and say, for years, I've worked with Danielle. She over delivers on the promises. She's fast. She's a pleasure to work with. Like you get the point. Like, you can say all these things about they could say things about you personally and just don't have to mention IT. I wouldn't mention in there, worked with Danielle at, and she was a coach for, like, I'm not going into that detail. I'm just talking about her and a pleasure to work with, and that I would strongly recommend you talk with her and everything. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same with that. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think that's a good explanation. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So moving on, if you've got things like 20 years developing IT marketing plans, like these are old stats again, but 18,000 IT services clients enrolled, 321 plus client reviews and case studies. So like, you could use the years in business. If your years in business is new, don't say that. You could say 30 years of business experience or IT experience. If you come from that background between you and your employees, whatever it is, if there's just different numbers of that. So like one of our lead consultants, Aaron, oh geez, I don't know what his number is now. I think last I had updated it for him, he had over 5,000 sales consultations with that. I mean, he's doing 4 to 6 of them a day. He's been with us. I think he just passed the 10-year mark with us. So he's done thousands of those. So has worked with or consulted with over 5,000 MSPs and IT service companies. You could say years of experience in that industry. So we've got some clients that work with primarily with dentists, and they hire people who worked in dental offices, or a lot of people who worked with specific software for dentists. So they have like over 80 years of experience in the dental industry with their employees and everything. So that's just if you have numbers. Now, one cool thing, so this was Fair Oaks IT. We're still getting data on this, but you'll see in the upper left, it says as seen on MarketWatch, Newsmax, Business Insider, and Fox 28. So I don't know exactly how they did it. We do this in some of our programs where we'll do press releases like our authority and trust campaigns, our small business tech day. My guess is it was something like that, but I don't know. And then it gets picked up by these media outlets. According to Fair Oaks, and our numbers so far early on, like this just happened in the last couple months, are supporting this. But the only difference we've made on, or I should say they've made on their website, is putting this as seen on in there. Swearing that they're getting more form fills, more calls per visitor. The early data is saying that's accurate with that, and this is with no other changes. So they spend a considerable amount online in order to get leads, and with no other changes, they've seen an uptick in this just by having. This is why trust and credibility are so important to have. So any opportunities that you have to do some of those things, make sure you take them. And if you are interviewed, even for like papers or local radios or whatever, get those logos up on your site. Just have it be sticky at the top of every page. I think this is at the top of every single one of their pages now. But you can go to Fair Oaks IT and check it out. So those are the big 7. Other factors that are important to conversion. This sounds silly, but a functioning website. I found, so I went through, it was like 109, and it was people who were going to be on a webinar. It's not this one. This was a couple months ago, and found that 17% of the websites that I went to had broken links. And I only tried like one. It was if they had a link on their homepage. So that was 17% of people who even had a link. It was like 30% of people didn't even have a link on their homepage, like for a form. But almost 1 in 5, it didn't work right. All forms need to go to a CRM for tracking and follow-up. Like you guys get this with the program. If you're using something outside of MAP, make sure, because this is absolutely critical. Some type of website conversion tracking it is an important thing to have in there. A good SEO foundation. So right now we'll go over SEO with you. Ben Hawkins is our guy internally who has this with it. Wait till you got your new website. Don't do it on your old one. Not going to do that. Wait till you have your Robinized website, and make sure you schedule that SEO kind of foundation call with Ben. That'll be later on. You'll learn more about that, but wait till the website's up and running. This is to get your foundation. This is not ongoing, but to get it all set up right. A well done Google My Business page with 5-star reviews, good LinkedIn profile, and then make sure you answer your phones live. Again, we did it was like a half-day training last week on digital marketing. Can't stress many of these points highly enough on there. So with that, I don't see any new questions, kind of transitioning from websites to what we'll call a high converting landing page here. So Daniel, just break in if there's anything that I didn't see. But the key to lead generation is what we'll call high converting landing pages. And the difference is that the landing page, oops, just clicked on something on a little Zoom menu that I didn't mean to. Okay, I think everything's working. Okay, so a landing page is a single offer page that's used in conjunction with some sort of marketing promotion, whether it's postcard, whether it's a phone call, online ad, social media post, Google business profile, whatever it is, the whole thing is don't take them just to your home screen. If on your ad, you're going to advertise a report for top information security concerns from manufacturers. People don't want to have to guess where to go. So Innotech, they've got this out there. They're spending money running it to that. So it takes them to a page that's just designed around that report. So again, name, company, phone, email. They have a how did you hear about us? They have this kind of recapture. This is much better than the you got to type in everything. Really don't even need this, but you could at least have that. Nowadays they have it hidden and can submit that on there. This was a landing page for one of our members, John and Beth Hill. They were doing a webinar. So even look at some of these things we talked about. So having a clear who it's for and what it is. This is not a catchy headline. What it is clear and concise for people who would do it. So an important free 2-hour event for DoD contractors. So you know who it's for. If you're not a DoD contractor, you're like, well, this isn't for me. That's fine. What you need to know or what you need to do now to become CMMC certified to avoid losing your government contracts. So they did this a couple years ago when everything was changing. It's still changing. So they do, I don't know whether it's quarterly or a couple times whenever there's big update webinars, and that's a great one. So for any of your industries, if you're in something that depends on compliance and your people know it, like you could lose your government contracts if you don't follow it, you could do the what every DoD contractor needs to know for Q3 of 2023 to avoid losing their government contracts, or the 3 big changes that you need to know to stay CMMC certified, anything along those lines on there. So like those are great ones with that. So this was a landing page for a free seminar that they were doing, a seminar or webinar, I guess in-person event. So that would be a seminar. So they answered that. So this is a big company, Electric, and they do a lot of things right, and they use digital marketing. So it's so funny. We get people, or I'm sorry, not just digital marketing, direct response marketing on there. We get people who say, I'm too small for direct response, and then people on that end say, I'm too big for direct response. Electric is a gigantic MSP. And so this was an ad that actually I believe Robin came across. She got targeted with IT support built for Nashville. Why Electric is tier above other IT providers. So this is where you could have like the seven reasons to use you guys. Now it's got to be cut down a little bit, but you've got it on there to fit. But our Nashville IT experts will show you how you can save 50% on IT. We don't endorse or whatever. I don't know anything about Electric, but they're using the same types of form fills and everything we are. So I guess, yeah, this was a pay-per-click ad. So again, they're using the trust builders as well, 100 experienced IT engineers, 700 companies, 45,000 end users and counting. Now, the big mistake they're doing, if they're going after small business, is they don't like businesses don't say, oh yeah, I got 10 endpoints or something like that. That is not theirs. It should be like 45,000 employees. Now we know some of them might have multiple well, that says on users and not endpoints. But anyways, 45,000 employees protected or served or something like that. Use the language that your clients would use, not the language that you use in that. So a couple final things going off of the landing page is the whole point of a landing page is to get people into a funnel. We're not going to go through this exact diagram a whole lot, but you get those raw leads that turn into qualified leads. You find out they're in your area, they're the right size. You want to do things to become hot leads with that by giving them more information. Obviously, maybe get an appointment, get a client, and then turn them into a raving fan. So we're going to kind of finish off with an example of what you can do with some of this that Robin showed. So this is top of funnel marketing. So this is all for a landing page. And this is one example of one that we did and actually started this back in 2019. We still use it today. We update it. We update the pieces and the landing page often, but then the actual webinar So this was taken off of a webinar. Robin redoes it about every year, 9 months to a year or so, with new or updated content there. But it's the 6 ways to double your MSP leads, appointments, and sales without spending a dime on marketing. Again, I'm sure some people on here have this already, but initially this was a live webinar that Robin did. And all we did was took it and I got it transcribed and put into a report with that. So the webinar went really well. I saw a bunch of people sign up, wanted more information. So I'm like, let's do something with this. So made the landing page. I also want to show you the important part about this is once you have these assets up, be looking for all the ways to market it. So the 6 ways webinar on our blogs, you'll see every one of our blog is going to have some kind of call to action. Sometimes they'll have multiple calls to action. So this was note looking to get started, get your free copy of 6 ways to double MSP lead sales and appointments without spending a dime on marketing. Now you'll see things for Roadshow, or you'll see things for our, or for MSP Launch Academy. We don't call it that in the webinar, but we get about 40 people just from our blogs every week to sign up for the half-day training. It's free training in there, but tells people on some of our coaching programs. And just by having these things in your blogs that drive to a good landing page. Robin actually, then she created a series of short videos highlighting one tip she discussed. So obviously there were 6 ways. So she did like, it was like 3 to 4 minute videos on just one of the tips. And she's like, hey, if you want more on this and the other 5 tips, make sure you click on the link or the address below. Like, let's see. So again, we just threw these up on YouTube like they were real quick ones. We use these in promotions, but just threw them up on YouTube. Organically, it's had 620 views in 3 years. Is this lighting up the world? Absolutely not. But we got, I think it was 7 videos total, because this one was about all the 6 ways. And then she created like one for each of the 6. So if they each get 600 views, that's about 3,000, 4,000 views over that time. If just 10% of those people then register to get this free book, and like, why wouldn't you? We shoot for 20%, but even if 10%, that would be that would be about 300 leads over the last 3 years just from throwing up little tiny videos on YouTube from that. So again, that may sound like a lot, that might not sound like enough, but you're doing this stuff already, so figure out how to use it. We also did postcards. We don't send this out any longer. We were sending this out for like years. And so we've changed it up. It's still got our old logo and everything. And at that point, we had only worked with 8,000 IT firms. Now we're well up over 10,000 IT firms. And I think we're over 12,000 now on our latest stuff. Yeah, 17 years. We're now at going on 22 years. All that good stuff. But we use this time and time again. Again, all just going to that same landing page. Had Facebook ads and posts, different images. The reason I wanted to show you these images is because what did we do? This was actually a little video, just it was our AV guy. He was just flipping through the report to show him, hey, this is an actual like thing we'll send you. But then found this on some site. It wasn't Reddit, but it was some kind of forum, and people are like, hey, this is they called it server porn. They're like server cabinets that just had great like wiring. And I'm like, all these people commented on that. It was out there, and it was a free rights image or copyright free image, I should say. So I just threw it on the back of and put a little title over that we would get more comments liked on this ad and then ultimately leads than we did on so many other things. You got to remember, in the imagery on your website, show the stuff that your ideal client is interested in, not what you're interested in. Do I know anything about this stuff? Heck no, not compared to you guys, or really know anything about it, period. But I know that what do mostly people put on Facebook or LinkedIn? It's when it's an image, it's like a slice of life. So use pictures of what they would be seeing every day. So if you're going after dentists, have dental office pictures on your website. The big thing is use images of what your people are interested in, not what you're interested in selling to them. So this was overall campaign stats. So just to show you, this was just within the first 90 days of launching this on here. had over 6,700 visitors to this landing page. And again, this is a good landing page. We've been running it for years. This is just the first 3 months. 2,200 leads, so almost about little under a third became leads. $13 cost per lead. Again, about 33% conversion rate. 764 of those were qualified. So I wanted to show you, even with this, like, you would be shocked how many people are not IT services. We had hair salons, we had real estate agents, we had financial planners, attorneys, you name it. We had people opt in for this. Even though it says IT service businesses reveals to double your MSP leads. Like, this is not a common term that we're using. We're not trying to trick people into getting this, but still only about 760 of 2,200 within that first 90 days were qualified, which was fine. So it was $40 per qualified lead. We booked 129 consults off of it. 78 of them actually showed up, and 41, at that time, we were just like selling toolkit on that. That was 41 toolkits and 8 rapid implementation workshops, which is essentially what you guys are going through right now. Rapid implementation is for accelerators, but we modeled that for MSP Launch Academy. But the total revenue generated was about 231,000 off of this landing page in that 90 days. Now, we spent money to get people there. That's why I have this $38 cost per lead. So if you want to know how much we spent, do 764 times 38. So we spent some money, but I think the ROI is still like 10x. So pretty good ROI on that. So that's what a good landing page does. It says free guide for IT services businesses, 6 ways to double. We tell them what it is, and it's all about that. We don't have a home screen. We don't try and take them anywhere else. You can actually go to toolkitlive.com/6 ways. You'll throw off all my stats, and see it today. Don't opt in. You can, that's fine. But you guys have all these strategies in this program and a whole lot more. So when do you use a landing page? Email, offer, or promotion, driving someone to free content. That could be a book, report, video. When you're promoting a webinar or seminar, via direct mail promotion, any Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn promotions. You don't typically want to just take them back to your main site. When running pay-per-click promotion about a specific service, retargeting, we'll talk about that in later sessions there. If you're doing any radio, TV, newspaper, magazine, any of those types of ads, you want to take them to a landing page that's just about that report, that service, that video, not to your main site, and hope they figure it out. So when do you send people to your website then? If you're using Google PPC, you should target the traffic to a page that's appropriate for that search term. So I'm not going to get into this a lot in here, but if you're doing pay-per-click, you can do some things in there where you just say the premier IT service provider for Nashville, but what you can do on your website is, if you're in Franklin, Tennessee instead of Nashville, Google can know that and point them to a page that says for Franklin business owners instead of Nashville business owners. That's advanced. I'm not going to get into that. But you can use some general on a business card or generic marketing collateral, just taking them to your website. Things like doing an interview or a piece that's going to last a long time where it's not time bound with promotion, like this one, printing something that will have a long shelf life on it. So finally, critical components of your lead generation success. Again, guys, can't say this enough, answer your phones live. Live means a real person that picks up the phone, not an auto attendant. If you can't answer live, get a call answering service like Ruby or Smith. I know there's a bunch of others out there. Those are just 2 that we've heard good things on. Do not let a prospect off the phone without taking in all their information and booking an appointment.